Good morning everyone and welcome to your weekly dose of news about technology and games developed in 2015. A lot of new games and technologies out there and we're gonna check it out today. Because I'm gonna edit it out anyway.
It's running.
What?
It's recording.
Okay. So, thanks Victor. We have now Michael Leslie who is teaching games development at College of North East London. Hi Michael.
Hello there, hello.
So, what did inspire you to get into game development?
What inspired me to get into games development? Years ago, long time ago, I was into comics and comic illustration. I worked as a comic artist for 2000 AD and I found that my skills could be used for storyboarding and concept work. So I applied for a job with a company that was in South London, and they liked what I could do with my own drawings of like Dragon Ball Z and all those things that were out at the time, as well as my own comic book drawing. So you know, a good idea of how anatomy works, and drawings and styles and things like that. So when I had my interview for the games company, they liked what I did, and it went from there. So I didn't actually choose to get into games, if that makes sense.
So your plan before was about to do comics or like drawing?
Anything to do with drawing. So games is part of it, but at the time I didn't know that could get me into games design. I just love drawing. Just love drawing.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah. So that was the road that I took, and it was about 8 years in the industry, going from different companies to different companies, you know, using my skills and designing different types of games.
Right, so if you got into those kind of stuff, that means you got into games like playing for yourself?
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
What kind of games do you prefer?
I love real-time strategy games.
Right,
So games like Command and Conquer, like StarCraft,
yeah.
games like, there's a lot of Facebook games like, what's that one that when you play, you're on the farm? Farmville and those sorts of things.
Right.
Although I don't play that game, I like those type of games.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the AAA games, Assassin's Creed or something.
Yeah. I like Infamous. Everyone likes GTA. I sort of played those ones to death, so I tend not to play that. But Assassin's Creed it's a really, really good game. Yeah, it's just a big sandbox world and there's lots of quests. Sort of joining and doing as well.
And what kind of projects do you do in class with your students?
I guess the projects I do in class with the students are well chosen. For instance, I wouldn't choose to do a real-time strategy game with students just because the database of all of the units, all of the player mechanics, all the different little tools that you can use. So say for instance we're doing Command and Conquer, there's about 100 different types of tanks, there's units, there's guys with guns, all that sort of thing. That would be a very impractical game to do with students. Instead what I might choose to do is a car game. So they've got one car, they have to build a road, and then the car has to basically navigate the road to get to the other end. You know, and then you might have enemy cars that might shoot, or that you have to race. So the game mechanic is quite simple, and then any of the students can get into how to change the environment, change the type of car, adapt the road a little bit, that sort of thing. So it's fairly good as a first project.
So that means you have like very interested students.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. A lot of them would like to make Street Fighter in one day, and I got to kind of show them that Street Fighter takes about a year or two to sort of develop, or a game like it. So a car game is a good sort of first step.
Yeah.
A lot of the students love Assassin's Creed. Some of them love FIFA, football games and sports games. They love a variety. So it's good for them to understand how much goes into that game. And so for them as an artist, because it's only one person, and then you've got a game engine, they have to produce everything themselves basically, rather than in the professional world there's a whole team. Programmers, artists, animators and so on.
You get to use like engines like CryEngine.
There's one, yeah, I mean, any student's got access to those sorts of engines. and all of them are at quite a good standard where anyone can put some graphics in and see how it works and walk around themselves in a little interactive world. The easiest ones to use, I might say, is the Unreal Engine, which is there for professional use, and students can use it as well. Or apart from Unreal, you've got the Unity engine as well. So those two, in terms of big 3D engines, those are the best ones.
Unity is one of the most used nowadays for indie games and stuff.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And it's a good first step for any student to sort of understand how a game works, and how to build their own one as well. There's lots of other 2D game engines to use, and they allow you to do the same thing, and to build apps, so you can get your game onto your mobile phone as well.
You get to do apps on mobile and tablets.
That's it, yeah. Apps, tablets, any device, inside web browsers, can go anywhere, absolutely anywhere.
What do you think about the state that games evolve right now, like the graphics and the systems?
Apart from a game like Minecraft, I think the whole industry is doing really well. I'm always making fun of Minecraft because they've chosen like a real retro sort of look for the game that they've produced out there, and it's doing really, really well. You know, everyone I know, my children play it as well, and they love it. So games don't have to be dependent on sort of high-level futuristic or realistic graphics. It's quite nice to see a game that's really retro. And so that sort of game years ago would only exist on a sort of a small screen, but now it's been made on a big screen with not bad graphics, but retro graphics. And then you have the same thing happening on small screens. You've got small 3D emulators. I saw Mario Kart maybe about a year ago. I saw it working in the web browser, and I've seen them use it on small mobile phones as well. So if you can get games like Zelda, if you can get games like FIFA playing, or even Assassin's Creed playing on a mobile phone.
Right now phones are getting so high-end that you can put like PSP and PS2 emulators so you can play games on a tablet.
That's right, yeah. I guess all of the technology is sort of leveling out with all the software that's out there, so you can release a game that's usable across all platforms. Yeah, so it's amazing. It's good.
Right, thank you, Michael.
Thank you
for joining us.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
The technician expert of the College of Haringey. Tom, what do you think about these new inventions in technology like smart watches, smart glasses?
Smart watches in particular, I think are fairly pointless. I don't think they offer anything of productive value to anybody. I think it's simply a marketing tool. So everything you've got that's on that smartwatch, the majority of people have got in the pocket anyway, on a phone. So the difference between in your pocket and on your wrist is another 600 quid or whatever. So I can't see it becoming. I don't think it's a technology that will become as widely used as a smartphone ever.
And what kind of technology do you use every day?
I use a smartphone every day, which I think pretty much everybody does now. Just the internet in general is such a valuable tool that seems as though it's been with us forever, but obviously hasn't. You know, in commercial terms, it's only been with us since sort of like the mid-90s, really. So it's still a fairly new resource, and because it's a fairly new resource, I think people still figure out the best way to apply that to everyday living.
Yeah, and how does it affect your life? I mean, how would it be without the internet and the technology?
It's a curse and a blessing, really, because I mean, before the internet, if you were away from work or whatever, it was fine. You couldn't be bombarded with emails. before mobile phones and people, people can get in touch with you. When you were away, you were actually away. But by the same token, it's great that you can still get in touch with people when you need to get in touch with people. I think it'll be bizarre, like probably the generation before that'll come after you. They'll be like, why did you used to ring a building to try and find a person? Why didn't you just ring the person? So I think it's the same as everything. It's a curse and a blessing.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
So, Asha, what do you think about kids playing too much games?
When kids playing too much games is not good for them because they might have too much homework and have work to do. So when they go home, they not can do the homework. They spend too much time playing games and they forget all the homework. So when they go school, they can't concentrate even what the teacher is saying because it might cause them brain problem with them.
So, Nicholas, what do you think about kids playing too much games?
There's nothing, I don't think much about it really. It's not necessarily a bad thing, kids playing too much games. It's more important about what you play pretty much. I mean, if a kid just keeps playing a racing game, there's nothing much really bad about it. But I think maybe for young kids, maybe too much games is a bit bad. It kind of distracts them a bit, so maybe they should just keep it just a bit, pretty much. That's what I think, technically.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. So, Marvin, what do you think about kids playing too much games nowadays?
Because it's addicted and they play too much and they don't get much sleep, and obviously if they go to school they're gonna sleep in a classroom and things like this. That's why games are not really good for people. They can play it but don't play it too much, especially in the night time.
So, Dublin, what do you think about kids playing too much games?
Well, games are actually good for kids because they're kids, so they want to have fun when they're young while they've got it.
Yeah.